Hi everybody, I wanted to make this video while it was still in my head. The idea was still in my head. Okay, first thing, a little side note, maybe apology. Stacy Haiduk. I'm not really sure how to spell your last name. I did the best I could. Apologies, no shade meant. I didn't think about looking up your name before I did the video. So there we go. Okay. The reason she came to mind was because she and Roger Howard are what we call guest stars, meaning their roles are usually shorter than usual and they're usually on contracts. And because they're shorter than usual, I don't know if they're going to be here a couple months, maybe 3 months, 6 months, maybe a year. But they're not long term, like say Eric Braden. Eric Braden is going to be there until Eric Braden doesn't want to be there anymore. Okay. And I kind of brought up Eric Braden for another reason too, but I'll get there. Okay. So going in the vein of guest stars for a second. Um, yeah, I don't know how long the role of Matt and Patty are going to be because Matt, I think people are closing in on him, and it's going to be a matter of a couple of weeks. Now, it depends on how long they want to drag the story out. And like I was talking about before, if they want to have a sort of mystery and certainly amnesia storyline. I don't think they're going to wrap it up too soon. However, they also can't have it lingering for too long because people like me who are regular viewers are going to say, "What's taking so long?" As much as I love Roger Howard, as you all know I do, and Stacy Haiduk is holding her own too because I talked about it last week. I said with a role like Patty, Stacy Duke is gonna have to make her moments and stuff because um, they could throw Patty by the wayside. So Stacy Duke has to bring it, and she's been bringing it lately. So, but also if Jack, Peter Bergman, is going to go on with the storyline of kind of tricking Patty into thinking he's in love with her just to get information to then use on Victor. That's not going to be a fast process because it depends on which way they want to go because it looks like they're writing Susan Walters Ashby, Diane, to want to get back with Jack. Now, the problem with that is not that it's a problem, but that's one of those things that has to be a two-way street. I mean, the person has to be willing, but then the other side has to be willing too. And if Jack is on this course of trying to prove Victor wrong or whatever, he might lose his chance with Diane if he doesn't snap it up. So there's a lot of variables in this. Okay, now getting to Eric Braden. Now I did notice last week when Joshua Morrow had the performance of the year for him, that Eric Braden said, "I'm not going to be here too much longer." I said, "What? Why would he say that?" And it's been in the back of my mind because somebody else reminded me, and I kind of remember myself too when they brought it up. I said, "Go back to what Matt Atkinson said from Bone the Beautiful. Nothing is said or done that doesn't have a purpose on a soap opera." Meaning, if they didn't want Eric Brain to say that, it wouldn't be in his dialogue. And as far as props and stuff, if they didn't want him to have a prop, he wouldn't have a prop. it all goes in the same vein. So now I'm thinking, why did Eric Brain say that? Is he planning on retiring from Y&R? Are they going a different direction with the character of Victor? My mind is going and going and going. So that's always going to be like ever present in the back of my mind. And believe me, if I see Victor, the character, I'm gonna be wondering, when is this gonna be brought up again? Because it's gonna be in the back of my mind. So, just some things to think about. Well, while we're kind of on the subject, because Phyllis is involved here. I talked about this a little bit last week, but I think I'm going to expound on just a bit, and then I'll be done for this video today. Okay, but it all depends on where they want Phyllis to go. If they want Phyllis to have like a attack of conscience and actually do something good for somebody else and not herself, or if they want to write like a love thing between Matt and Phyllis, or if they want to throw Matt under the bus and have him remember who he is and then get like weird again. It all depends on what the writers are going to do. But I just gave you 3 directions they might go. So it all depends on what they want to do. And Sharon, okay. I don't mean any shade to Sharon Case at all. Sharon Case is atheist, okay? But Sharon Newman, they are writing Sharon Newman. Like, I don't know what they're doing with her. I don't know. And okay, before I start the whole thing, when I said that about Joshua Morrow, I said, oh, I see what they're doing here. They wanted him to have a thing, so then a storyline, so then he can have an Emmy nom. Okay, now what are you doing with Sharon Case? What are you doing with the character of Sharon Newman? What? First, she knows everything. Then she's a psychologist. Then she has a psychology degree. And now she wants to be buddy-buddy with Phyllis. Why? To what end? I don't get it. I don't get it. Okay? When they were trapped together by the weird guy, I don't see. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm missing something, or maybe I just don't think that way. But I didn't see that as a bonding experience. And that's the best I can do for Sharon Case? I think not. So could we try a little harder, please? Because she's been kind of flat lately. And like I said, no shade to Sharon Case, but the character is like a flat line. I don't know. Well, on the upside, nothing is wrong with her kids or anything like that. But I mean, really, is that all you have for Sharon Case lately? Like her kids have to be in trouble, or she has to try to bond with a woman she would never bond with in another life? I don't get it. All right, I guess.